Hey guys, welcome back to another Plan With Me. This week I'm planning from May 13th to the 19th, and I'm using this Scribble Prints Co kit called Hike. And let me just say that this kit could not be more perfect for this week. The only thing that could make it more perfect is if Bigfoot were in one of these boxes, because I went to Lake Placid and I didn't know this, but that's Sasquatch, Bigfoot, that's where he's from, Lake Placid. But yeah, I'd been hoarding this kit. I got it just because it's so beautiful and I love the color scheme, and I just figured I'll use it eventually when I have some sort of hiking adventure or go into nature or whatever. But it could not have been more perfect. Like, a lot of these boxes have lakes on them, and you will see I struggled to choose boxes because I just wanted to use them all, minus the camping boxes. I didn't need those, but there was one that I ended up leaving out that I wish I hadn't because I really liked it, but I needed Sunday to be a no full box day. And so that, I had to sacrifice it. I just could not bring myself to do a day extender this week. I could not. So I had to sacrifice a box. But we went hiking and we saw waterfalls. So the waterfall box is perfect. Obviously, all of the lakes and rivers and such, all those boxes are perfect. It was beautiful. It was perfect. This kit is perfect. There you have it. If you saw my last Plan With Me, I did mention that this week was a little more interesting. And now that I am about to do the voiceover, I feel like I lied. Like, I did a lot this week, but everything went so well, I feel like I don't have enough to complain about, but we're going to try, because the first half was a teensy bit of a nightmare. Let me know if you can relate. I'm sure a lot of you can in the planner community, but I am an introvert and I need a lot of time to recharge. And I was really hoping that last week I was going to have some downtime, some alone time, some relaxation time. And it just didn't happen because I was busy all Friday. And then Saturday, which was supposed to be more of a free day, I ended up spending the entire day and the entire evening with my grandmother, which hadn't been planned. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing necessarily, except for I knew I was going on a long weekend this week, and I was really wanting just some time to decompress beforehand, and it just wasn't happening. And on top of that, Tuesday was a very, very stressful day because not only was it our biannual group meeting, solo meeting, but it was also our biannual work outing. And I was just like, I don't have time for this shit. I need to pack. I need alone time. Those are the two things. I needed to pack, which I hate. It's one of my least favorite things to do in the world. And I just needed alone time. And the only nights I had were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so Tuesday completely got taken away from me. It ended up being good and it was fine. And I got all my packing done on Wednesday, but I just was dreading it. I was really dreading it. I was dreading the meetings because, to be completely honest, I don't feel like I've been doing a good job. I hate sales. I avoid it like the plague. I do the bare minimum just to get by. I have not been making or scheduling any appointments, which is part of my job. And then on the other hand, like all the administrative things, I just feel like I've been forgetting things. So I didn't feel good going into this meeting. Fortunately, it went well. She is happy with my work. She said she had no complaints. Everything was going well. And so the majority of our meeting, it was like an hour-long meeting. It was really just like chatting and strategizing and whatever, but she didn't have anything negative to say. So that was a relief. Doesn't matter. I will still be like close to tears and vomiting before the next meeting. That's just who I am as a person, but I was just relieved. And I was also just dreading the work outing, not only because I wanted to go home and like decompress, but because Joe was not able to come with me originally because he has soccer on Tuesdays. But last minute, he found out that his team didn't sign up for this season, so he's free on Tuesdays for like a couple months. So that really worked out for me. He was able to come, and I was just so relieved because I was getting so anxious at the thought of being alone with all my coworkers and their significant others, because I was like, how am I supposed to pretend that I like don't hate my job and that I like don't need to make more money, and that, you know what I mean? Like, Joe is an extrovert. He's very outgoing. He's a really good buffer. He makes me seem more fun. So I just really wanted him there to like, so that basically I had to talk less because I really didn't feel like socializing whatsoever. So that was really good. We ended up going axe throwing as our thing. It was fine. It was a solid 6 out of 10. I don't need to go again. I'm good. And also on top of that, I was concerned because it's in the opposite direction from the office as my apartment is. So my apartment was north and we were going south from the office. So my only two options were either to pay for an Uber, which would really piss me off to spend money to go to a work event on my own time that I didn't want to go to, or I could walk the hour back home, which is doable. It was still light out. I didn't like necessarily feel unsafe or anything, but that's an hour of my alone time that I'm losing by walking. So Joe was able to drive me home, so that was good. And then as far as the trip went this week, it was just so much fun. I don't know what to do with myself when I don't have things to complain about. Just everything went so well. However, no, I do have one thing to complain about. I had such a good time and I genuinely liked every single person on this trip. So immediately, if I like people, I immediately think they don't like me. Because I'm just like, this is too good to be true. All of these women are lovely. All of them are interesting. I don't feel like I need to get drunk to make them interesting. You know what I mean? Like I can just hang out with these women completely sober and have a fantastic time. They must hate me. They must think I'm a bitch. They must think I talk too much. Something, you know? It's probably all in my head. I've been friends with the bride for many, many years. I think if she hated me, I'd know by now. But all of her friends were great. Her sister was great. I just really liked everybody. I guess the only bad thing that happened on this trip was we had an ant infestation. But bonus, we got our cleaning deposit back because of that. So, you know, blessing in disguise or whatever. It was a lot of driving. If you don't know geography, like me, I never know anything. Lake Placid is not fucking close, okay? It's like upstate New York or something. Kind of ish, like that way. I don't know, but it's like 6-ish hours from Philly, but I wasn't going to Philly. I was driving an hour west to meet everybody because they all live an hour out of the city. And then all of us were going up. So it was 7 hours of driving for me there and back. But I mean, it's better than driving alone myself for 6 hours and, paying for all the gas and tolls alone. And I was also really nervous about the ride because, of course, I'm nervous about everything. So I downloaded a new audiobook. I brought my headphones just in case I needed something to, like, get me through. But I didn't end up needing it. We talked the entire way there, and it was lovely. It was so good. I can't say enough good things about this group. I always have something to complain about. You know me. If you've seen my videos, all I do is complain. And I don't like people, and I always have something to complain about. But these people were just great. So there you have it. I wish there was more, like, exciting stuff to say about this trip, but I don't know. I just had a good time, and that's boring. Like, we went hiking, saw waterfalls. We went on a boat tour. We walked around town. The town is beautiful. We watched Bridgerton. Like, it was just the cutest time. One of the girls, she made a PowerPoint presentation, like, just on her own. Nobody, like, asked her to. It was not planned, but she made a PowerPoint presentation, a hear me out presentation with, like, all the men and women and, like, random things like cartoon characters that she thinks are hot, but that, like, other people wouldn't. And it was the funniest thing. It was all around a good time. I wish I had something to complain about because that would be a little more interesting, but I don't. It was wonderful. I want to go back with the exact same people. It was lovely. Couldn't believe it. Definitely made up for the Austin trip, let me tell you. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to shut up about my wonderful time and get into the day by day. Starting with Monday, the first thing I marked was that I was very tired and overwhelmed. If you couldn't tell, like, I was really, really, really dreading this week. I did not feel rejuvenated whatsoever from my weekend, and I just was not in the best headspace at all. And I used an In My Feelings munchkin to mark that. After that, I marked just catching up on the recorded meetings that I don't go to because they're at 7 a.m. I just couldn't bring myself to do real work, and I was behind on the meetings, so it was just a good excuse to like zone out, because let's be honest, I don't pay attention. And I used a work munchkin for that with this, this is like, I think from a Pink Planner Shop printable kit. These sticker sheets, I marked printing and cutting a kit. Then, like I was saying, I have not scheduled a sales meeting for my boss in months. For whatever reason, I was able to schedule one the day before my meeting, which made me feel a hell of a lot better. But then, because I'm crazy, I was like, is she going to think that I've been slacking? And I just finally scheduled a meeting because I wanted something positive to talk about in our one-on-one the next day. That's insane. That's insane. I cannot control when someone wants a sales meeting. So I was able to schedule a meeting this day, and I marked that with an emoji on the phone. I very rarely get to use happy phone stickers because I hate the phone. Then with this laundry basket that I've had left over from who knows where, I marked doing my laundry. Then on my break, I walked to the hardware store to get a copy of my Key Made because Joe was going to be feeding the cats and doing the litter while I was away. And he has the key to my apartment, but he doesn't have the key to the gate. So I needed to get one of those made. Then with this, what kind of weight is this? I don't remember what they're called, but with this weight from Apple Blossom Prints, maybe, or Pink Diamond Planner Co., one of those, I can't remember. I marked that I did a back workout with an Olive Studio Olive. I marked that I pulled for a spread and then did a voiceover for a different spread. And then the final thing on Monday with this Paper Shire, I think this is like a horror book sticker, I marked that I read. Moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked was that I was just dreading this day so much. I could not wait until it was over. I used this, like, what would you say this face is? I don't know, but this is from the Coffee Monsters Co. With this meeting sticker, also from the Coffee Monsters Co., I marked the group meeting. Then with this, I have had this on top of the world sticker for so long, and I never knew when I was going to use it, and I thought it went really well with this kit, and I used it to mark making it through my one-on-one. Then after that, I marked that I had my Red Bull finally. I usually have it earlier in the day, but I wanted to use it as a reward for like getting through these meetings and stuff, so I had my celebratory Red Bull. Then with this munchkin having stomach cramps, I marked that I had such bad gas, I actually thought I was going to puke. And that's a first. Like, I've had tummy aches and felt like nauseous from gas before, but I really felt like I was going to puke until I was finally able to like pass gas. I'm sorry, that's disgusting, but I needed to mark it because it was weird and I didn't like it. Then with this, where's this from? This pretzel. I want to say Piper Paper Company. I think that's the name. Anyway, with this little pretzel, I marked that I went to get Philly Pretzel Factory because that's what we were going to eat for our group outing. With these munchkins playing games, I marked that we went to bury the hatchet. Believe it or not, I did not have an axe or hatchet or target. Oh, wow. I could have used it like a target, like the store, like a target. You know what I mean? For axe throwing, I could have used a fucking target. But I was so stuck on hatchet. Whatever, it's fine. This sticker matches, so it's okay. I just used this to mark going to bury the hatchet. Then with this TV from Once More with Love, I marked that after Joe and I left, he came back with me to my apartment, and we walked like down my street. Someone a block away from me was giving away a TV, and so we went and picked it up. Then with these munchkins watching something on a laptop and eating popcorn, I marked that we watched the challenge and snacked. I didn't really have dinner. I don't consider a pretzel from Pretzel Factory dinner, even though I love pretzels. So we had a couple snacks while we watched the challenge. And that was it for Tuesday. Moving on to Wednesday. Oh my God, this was awful. The first thing I marked was that some asshole drenched me with dirty city water. And what happened was it was raining, and I was waiting to cross the street, And before you say, why were you standing so close to a puddle? I was standing, it's like an island essentially where I was standing, number one. And number two, the only reason this douchebag was able to drench me was because he did something illegal. Because the puddle wasn't in the road, it was in the bike lane. And like, there is no reason for a car to be driving there. The only reason this asshole was driving there was because he was cutting 2 lanes of traffic off on the right, if you know what I mean. Like, he almost caused an accident. Everybody was beeping at him. He was flying by, and he drove practically on the curb. Like, I'm lucky I wasn't any closer to the edge because he could have fucking run over my foot. He was so fucking close. But anyway, he did that. And whilst breaking the fucking law, he drenched me in disgusting, filthy water. Thank God I was in all black because, oh God, or at least my pants were black. And I had my like, quote unquote, it's not really a raincoat, it's water resistant. That's the best I have. Luckily that was zipped up and my pants were black. So nothing got ruined, nothing got stained. But then I had to go to the office and sit in dirty, sticky clothing all fucking day. Anyway, I used this sticker that Ilza from Ilza's Melted Plans sent me. I will never remember. Oh, wait. Cupcakes? Some cupcakes and stickers? Is that it? Did I remember it? Maybe. Anyway, she looked perfect for this event. Then under that, with this munchkin in a puddle, I marked that all I wanted to do was go home. He also had completely soaked my shoes and my socks. Like this, I'm telling you, I got drenched. So once I got to the office, luckily I have a space heater in my office. So I took my shoes off and I just dangled my feet in front of the space heater, and then I also positioned my shoes in front of the space heater so that they would be dry for me to walk home in. Like, it was terrible. The second I got home, the absolute second I got home, I changed and immediately washed my clothes because I didn't even want them in my hamper with my other clothes because there's just so much urine and feces and like other stuff all over the ground. And, oh God, I just felt disgusting. So yeah, that was annoying, especially because I had just washed those pants on Monday and now I had to wash them again on Wednesday. So that was annoying. But anyway, I used these emojis around a fan for the space heater. I need space heater stickers because do you hear that? Do you fucking hear that? Anyway, I need space heater stickers. Then with this insomnia munchkin, I marked that I made 30 calls this day. And let me put it in perspective for you. I usually make 0 to 5, 10 to 15 on a good day, okay, where I'm trying to like be impressive. 30? Fuck no. You want to know why I did? Because I wanted to leave. I was able to leave at 4 on Wednesday, and the only way I was going to be able to do that was if I got all these calls done. Because my boss said these were all her calls she was supposed to do. And then last minute, she moseys into my office and she goes, hey, I'm actually kind of overwhelmed with the amount of work I have to do. Can you call these people for me? So I had to call all these people. It was so time consuming because then after I called them, I had to email them as well if they didn't pick up. And on top of that, so she had 21 people she had to call. And then on top of that, I had like 10 people that I had to call. This wasn't like a normal day. I had a list of people that I had to invite to an event that we were hosting, whatever. It was so time consuming. I ended up leaving 8 minutes late, but I was like I have never worked so quickly before, and it was frustrating because you have to wait for the database to like load all the page. It was just a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I was very stressed out all day because I really wanted to leave on time. I did not want to have to stay late, and it's just such a joke. Every time I'm about to leave for my vacation time, something like this happens. I've noticed there have been like, she'll always give me some ridiculous task last minute. Like, I think I talked about it in my Austin plan with me. She gave me this like very time consuming task. Like, an hour before I was done and had to go to the airport. It's just every time. It happened in December as well. It's just frustrating. So I got it done. I did, and I only did 8 minutes of overtime, so it's not the worst, but I would have liked it to be 0. I don't get paid for those 8 minutes. I don't want to do free labor. Anyway, then with this Munchkin with a backpack, I marked that I left at 4:08, which at least it's better than 5. When I got home, I was not happy. My roommate was there, and when I walked into the apartment, it just reeked. It smelled like, I don't know, it smelled like armpits and a health food store and weed. It just reeked, and I was so angry. It was like the absolute last thing I wanted to come home to after having such a shitty day. I was very angry, like very, very angry. So I used a WTF Munchkin for that. Then with this candle sticker that I've had forever, I have no idea where I got it, probably a kit. I marked that I went around the entire apartment. I lit a candle in every single room. I sprayed room spray in every single room. And even with all that, the smell was just like lingering. I could not get rid of it. It was like going through the vents. It wasn't in my room as much. My room is at the end of the vent system or whatever. But eventually the smell seeped into my bedroom, and so I had to light a candle in there. I was just not happy. I was not happy at all. Then under that, with this Stick with the Plan Co. Yoga Girl, I marked that I did a workout. With this Pumpkin Paper Coterra slicing up a tomato, I marked that I made dinner for my roommate and myself. And then the final thing on Wednesday with this clothing sticker from the same sheet as that dark green weight from Monday, I marked that I packed. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked was cat care in the morning. I had to take care of their litter and feed them and do their water and like sweep up before I left. Then with this little car that I think is from Piper Paper Company, I think I'm saying that correctly, I marked the hour-long drive to the bride's house. Then I just really wanted an excuse to use these stickers. I've had them for so long from Planting Roses, and I very seldom get to use them. But with this road trip sticker, I marked driving from Lansdale, PA to Lake Placid. Then with this chef emoji, I marked that we stopped at the CIA for lunch, and that is the Culinary Institute of America. Beautiful, beautiful campus, stunning views, but we went there for lunch because the bride's sister actually went there for school. And it was just really cool. I don't love what I got, especially because I asked for no meat, and then the chick put meat on it and charged me for the meat, which annoyed me because I didn't want it. But other than that, it was really cool. I would go back and try something else, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not trying a pastry. Everything looked scary and very experimental, and I was frightened. Then with this house icon from SPC, I marked that we got to the Airbnb. It was in a town called Wilmington. There was like no cell service, so literally if we needed directions, we had to go to the Airbnb, get the directions, screenshot them, and then drive elsewhere. Like there was no cell service. But it was a cute house. I really liked the house, except for the ants and the fact that there was no AC. We later found out that they put the AC in the first week of June. But I mean, spring is getting hotter and hotter, so they really needed their AC in, and they ended up telling us that they were going to put it in once we left for the next guests, and we were just kind of like, I mean, good for them, but you guys live in town. You could have, like, you knew it was going to be in the 80s this weekend. You could have put the ACs in beforehand, but whatever. At least we got our cleaning deposit back. So that was kind of a bummer, but it's fine, and they left a bottle of wine for us that we didn't drink, so it was fine. It was doable. I managed because I was fine. It's funny, though. We thought it was going to be cold, and the bride actually brought me an electric blanket because she knows I get cold. Didn't open that at all. Then with this emoji on a walk, I marked that we drove to the town and walked around near like Mirror Lake. Fun fact I learned, most people who say they stayed at Lake Placid actually stayed on Mirror Lake because there's only one lodge on Lake Placid, and it's quite fancy and quite expensive. So if they didn't stay there, they actually didn't stay on Lake Placid. It's Mirror Lake, which is also very pretty. Then with this Stick with a Plan Co. sticker, I marked that we got dinner, and one of the girls actually treated, and we just paid the tip. That was so nice of her. And this is the only night I got a little tipsy. I got one drink, And I guess I didn't have much food in me because, it was strong though. It was a very strong drink. So I was like tipsy for an hour. That's basically it. Then with these munchkins watching TV, I marked that we watched Bridgerton. And then the final thing on Thursday with this munchkin swatting mosquitoes, I marked that we had an ant infestation. The owner of the Airbnb ended up telling us that because of where they're located, they can't fully get rid of the ants, which I kind of call bullshit on because I don't think that every single resident of Wilmington, New York is just covered in ants 24/7, but it was bad. And it's weird, they weren't in the kitchen, but they were in the bathroom, in the hallway, like going into the bedrooms. Actually, when we left, one of the women were pumping because they have a baby at home, and the ants got in her breast pump. It was a nightmare. So they said that they like spray monthly, and if we wanted them to, they would come and spray like early for us, but we were like, no, we'll just kill them because we don't need you spraying bug spray while we're here. So that was kind of lame, but at least it was manageable. I was able to keep him out of my room at least. So it is what it is. It didn't ruin the trip or anything. Then with this nightmare sticker on Friday, because I didn't have room for it on Thursday, I marked that I had nightmares, and I don't know if you guys can relate, but I have very realistic nightmares. I was having a nightmare that everybody like just decided not to wake me up, and they all went like out to go hiking without me. And it was just a shitty dream, and it was like very realistic feeling, you know what I mean? They would never do that in real life, but it's something that's possible. You know, like I didn't have wings in my dream or anything. I literally just like slept through my alarm and they like left without me. That was the whole nightmare. But I woke up and that was not the case. I helped a couple of the two girls actually came on Saturday, but Friday night, sorry. Two girls came on Friday night, but the other two that were already there, plus me and the bride stayed in her room, and the three remaining people, we decorated the Airbnb to like surprise her, and I used these Planting Roses balloons to mark that. Then with this brunch sticker from Once More With Love, I marked that we went to brunch. Then with this hiking sticker from Once More With Love, I marked that we walked the gorge. I can't remember what it's called, but if you know, it's beautiful. And it's kind of scary if you're scared of heights. Like you go on these bridges that are suspended so high in the air above these like crazy rivers, but it was really, really cool. I'm glad we did it. Then with this Not Today Fuckers sticker, I marked that I got an email. New Jersey was requesting me for jury duty, and I was getting really pissed off because I am registered in Philadelphia and I get jury duty in Philadelphia, and I will be damned if they double dip. I actually did not register to vote for a very long time because I was so scared of getting jury duty, and I'm still scared for the day that I actually have to go. Fortunately, I've been able to get out of it so far. Like they didn't pick me. It ended up being okay. I sent them an email where I was like, hey, no, I don't live in New Jersey. You can't do this to me. And they were like, okay, what's your new address? And I sent it to them, and they were like, okay, yeah, you're fine. So I do not have to drive an hour to go to jury duty. Thank God. Then with this showering munchkin, I marked that we all got ready for dinner because we were going to like a fancy dinner on Lake Placid, very fancy schmancy. With this, what is this, like nauseous munchkin, I marked that I got the worst car sickness of my life. I get very car sick, and I really thought I was going to puke. It was so bad, and even after I got out of the car, I was still sick for like 30 minutes. I never ask to sit in the front unless it's like an emergency because I never want to assume that I'm the only person who gets car sick. I think I actually am the only person in this group that gets car sick, so it wasn't an issue, but I sat all the way in the back of the minivan and we were going around these narrow roads. It was awful. So I had to mark that. Then with this sticker that I never know if it's from Once More With Love or the Coffee Monsters Co., but I marked that we had our fancy dinner where we had to like dress up and stuff. Then with these emojis watching TV, I marked that we watched Queen Charlotte, and that is it for Friday. Sorry if you can hear all the loud assholes outside. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked was we went to the farmer's market in this little town. I can't remember what it was called, and I used an emoji with a picnic basket for that. With this Sticky Perks breakfast sticker, I marked that we went to brunch again. And I was so sad. I really wanted French toast, and they were out of French toast. It was upsetting for me because I've been craving it. Maybe I'll make it for myself. Anyway, I'm getting like sidetracked. With these emojis in like a canoe, a rowboat, I marked that we did the boat tour. It was a much more impressive boat, but I don't have like a speedboat sticker. So here we are. Then with this popcorn sticker left over from a printable, I marked that we went to the popcorn shop and I bought quite a bit of popcorn. Then with this mall sticker, even though we didn't go to a mall, there is a mall, quote unquote, in town. It's like this tiny little hallway basically with shops in it. But this landscape from the Coffee Monsters Co. very much reminds me of the town. So I used that to mark going around into the shops and all that. Then with this emoji holding bananas, I marked that I got banana pudding ice cream, and it is hands down the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. It was so good. I'm so mad that I only got one scoop because I don't know when I will ever get that again. And if you know that Cold Stone had their like banana pudding thing this year, I got it. I tried it. This was so much better. I will dream about this ice cream. I loved it so much. Maybe I can make it. Probably not. I can't even make vanilla ice cream, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But, oh, God, it's so good. I'm about to drive 6 hours just to get that. Then with this TV binge sticker and this pizza from Sticky Perks, I marked that we got very mid pizza. It was not our first option, but we didn't want to eat out. We just kind of wanted to, stay home in our pajamas. So the only options were, like, a couple restaurants, because Wilmington has like nothing. And the one like real restaurant that was open refused to take our order because they were too busy. And the only other option was this insanely overpriced shitty pizza. So that's what we got, but it was fine. We watched more Queen Charlotte and it was still a good time. Then we took down the decorations and packed because we decided that we wanted to leave super early, except one girl. She wanted to stay and hang out, which is totally fine because we had the Airbnb until 10 a.m. But the rest of us, like especially the two women who are moms, they wanted to get home. And then me, because I had an hour drive home once we got back to their home. And I just really wanted some time to like relax before Monday. So I got up at 6:15 a.m. on Sunday. All my shit was packed and ready to go. I just had to like do my, morning routine and then pack all that stuff up. And then I was done. I was so quick. I marked getting up with another SPC icon. With this Sticky Perks car sticker, I marked that we loaded up the minivan and got everything in. And I was like trying to help people where I could because I did not have much to do. But I don't know. I still wish we had left a little bit earlier. I'm not going to lie. Like I was ready to go, but it's fine. And the ants got in the breast pump, which definitely took some time because she had to like clean everything and make sure that she wasn't bringing ants home in the rest of her luggage. So that was kind of a bummer. But anyway, we still left much earlier than I thought we would. So with these emojis in a car, I marked hitting the road. We stopped at a rest stop for breakfast, and it definitely added quite a bit of time to our trip because it's the busiest rest stop I have ever been in, and we just got really unlucky with the timing. I don't remember where this coffee cup is from. I think a printable. But anyway, right before we had gotten to this rest stop, the entire like U.S. Army, I think it was like the Navy or something. It was like 50 people in this group all wearing like U.S. Army or something shirts. I don't remember what it was, but they were everywhere. The line to Starbucks, the line to Panera, the line to whatever the other thing was, I think Shake Shack, like they were everywhere. And so we were at this rest stop for probably a half an hour because of all the people. Then we made a second stop to get some gas and to pee. So I used this Munchkin from Once More With Love and a Sticky Perks gas pump to mark that. With this Once More With Love car, I marked that I then drove home. And I did myself a favor and stopped at an Aldi on my way. This bag is from Sticky Perks. I just knew that I would really be thanking myself come Monday like not having to go to the food store, you know? So, and also I stopped at one in a really nice town. It was clean. It was empty. They didn't hurl my apples into the cart like they always do at Aldi. Except self-checkout is amazing, but this Aldi didn't have self-checkout. So I was so happy when the girl like gently placed all of my produce and bananas and like didn't bruise anything. That was lovely. And then with a happy munchkin, I marked that I was finally back home. I was so excited, and I hated the way the GPS took me through Philly to get back home. It was a nightmare. So I was just so relieved to be back. With a Once More with Love munchkin, I marked doing the litter. I also took out the trash, and this trash bag is from a printable. With these munchkins hugging, I marked that I went to go see Joe because I got back home at like 3:15. It was amazing. So I had time to hang out. So I went over to his place after I took care of all the stuff at home and like dropped off my suitcase and stuff. I don't have a suitcase, my duffel bag. And then he and I went for a walk, which was much needed because believe it or not, even though I was out in the wilderness and like on vacation, we barely walked. The bride has a bad knee, I think, or a bad leg or something. So the walking was definitely minimal. Like even when we were shopping, we didn't like walk a crazy amount. So I was really behind on my steps for the week. So he and I went for a walk, and this Nike sneaker is from Piper Paper Company, I believe. Then the final thing for this plan with me, with these munchkins watching TV, I marked that Joe and I watched the challenge. But yeah, sorry, this is an extra long one. I just had a lot to say. So if you stayed all the way to the end, I appreciate you because that was a lot. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.